If you've ever had a quote from me and thought, bloody hell Lee, that seems a bit expensive just to take some rubbish away, this is probably worth watching. And even if you've never used Highland Tidy before, this should give you a wee idea of what actually goes on behind the scenes when a licensed waste carrier takes your rubbish away. I've had quite a few new people following the page recently, so I thought this might be helpful to explain what actually happens after I leave your driveway. Because one thing I think a lot of folk don't realise is that I can't just load everything into the van and take it down to the local tip for free. Because I'm operating commercially as a licensed waste carrier, anything I collect has to go to a proper authorised waste transfer station. For me, that's a trip through to Invergordon, which is around a 22-mile round trip. When I get there, the first thing I do is go over the weighbridge. I weigh the van with all the rubbish still in it and record what type of waste I'm carrying, because different materials are charged at different rates. Once that's done, I head in and I tip the load. The site itself is basically a big sorting station, so rather than everything just disappearing into landfill, the waste is separated out into things like wood, rubble, plasterboard, plastics and general waste. As much as possible is then recovered and recycled. Around 90% of waste going through these types of facilities can be sorted and recycled. Once I've tipped, I go back over the weighbridge again, weigh the van empty, compare that with the weight when I arrived, and the difference tells them exactly how much waste I've disposed of. Then a few days later I'll get an invoice for it. And just to show these aren't figures I've made up, this is one that I had recently. On my account, general waste on the invoice was £244 a tonne before VAT, which works out at £292.80 a tonne, as I'm a sole trader, not VAT registered. Inert waste was £55 a tonne before VAT, and a tall fridge freezer that I had that day was £41 before VAT. And it's not always just based on weight either. Certain items like the fridge above and mattresses and sofas can have their own additional disposal charges as well. So when you get a quote from me or any other licensed waste carrier, you're not just paying somebody to turn up with a van and take your rubbish away. There's the disposal cost, the journey to the waste facility, fuel, travel time, loading, sorting, tipping, the van insurance, waste carrier's licence, and all the other running costs involved in doing the job properly. And obviously, after all that, the person doing the job still needs to earn £1 as well. A fair chunk of what you're paying is simply the genuine cost of disposing of the waste legally. So if one person gives you a proper quote and somebody else offers to take the exact same pile away for a fraction of the price, it's probably worth asking how they're doing it so cheaply and where the waste is actually going. Hopefully this helps explain things a wee bit better and gives you a clearer idea of what happens after your rubbish is collected.